Hello, 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 my friends, and welcome back to another live show. Okay, so there's so much information, but very little time when it comes to breaking into the federal market. And you might be thinking to yourself, Chevy, yes, a lot of information, but I don't have the time, capacity, or tolerance to do the work that is needed to figure out all the things. Welcome to the Executive Innovation Show. I'm your host, your speaker, trainer, and consultant. And I am really focused on helping tech founders to break into the federal market because they don't have the time, they don't have the team, and they don't have the tolerance. And the way I do that, the way my company does that, is really helping them to position their companies through strategic positioning, aligned outreach, meaning we're doing intentional outreach to make sure that it makes sense to you, but also with ready partnership that are ready to have conversation, to move forward and say, hey, let's get the needle moving along this journey. Okay. And this is really going to help you to get your time back as a CEO, but also grow a sustainable business. So welcome to the Executive Innovation Show. As always, thank you so much for being here. I am streaming live right here on LinkedIn, which is my main platform, along with YouTube. So when you are done watching this live over here on LinkedIn, I want to invite you to go to my YouTube channel, same name, the Executive Innovation Show. Subscribe to the channel, okay? And as you are doing that, invite a friend. And also I'm streaming right here on Facebook as well. But come on in, say hello, let me know how you're doing. And also I want to make sure that you share in the comments, like in the chat, who you are, what you do, and who do you serve. So come on in. I want to make sure that I can see individuals on Facebook as well too. But come on in, and I want to give you a shout out. So we're talking about federal readiness. Like, it is a must. Okay. I do have my notes. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm Shevvy, 22 plus years Air Force veteran, single mom of 3, living life, retired, building a business, serving clients, and doing what I love, really doing what I love, but also plug right here. I am actually writing a book, but we'll talk more about that on another day. Okay. But let's talk about federal readiness. Hey, the Slay Queen is in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining, Slay Queen. Joining from the MD, Maryland. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And like I said, come on in. And if you're new here, drop a 1 in the chat. So that lets me know, hey, this is your first time interacting with me in my community. But please drop a 1 in the chat. And like I said before, introduce yourself, share what you do, because you never know who may be like, hey, I need your services. Okay, because this is a place, a community where you can grow, also make new connections, and also you never know what opportunities may come with you sharing what you do. And thank you, Queen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, I'm excited about this book. As you all know, if you don't know, I started writing the book last year. I'm actually in the editing stage. But again, this is part of the readiness too, because hey, this could be something the federal readiness community may need for their people, for their women leaders. So hey, you got to be ready. Okay, like you say, Queen, stay ready. Be ready all the time. Yes, ma'am. So yes, where was I? So like I said, there's a lot of information. And as a tech founder, you are busy. I understand you're busy, you're serving clients and you're serving in the commercial space, but you understand and you know that there's a lot of complexity when it comes to the federal market. And I understand that because I've served in the military for 22 years. I'm a retired Air Force veteran, as I stated. So I understand what goes into, winning contracts, goes into being selected, what goes into being ready. Because as a readiness person, meaning that while on active duty, I was a unit deployment manager. And what that entails was me making sure that the people within my unit, within my organization, were ready to deploy, our military members. And sometimes, depending on the unit, you may have 2 or 3 civilian positions that were deployable. So myself, along with my team, we made sure that everyone was ready before we fully needed to be ready. So this is what this episode is about, is really sharing why you as a small business owner needs to be federal ready, and why that is a must. Okay. Because we can't delay, when it comes to federal opportunities. Like, and federal readiness. Like, we cannot delay. And I know that you're like, hey, where do I start? Because there's so many different avenues. There's so many different opportunities. There's so many different information from all the different agencies, all the things. And one thing I know about federal agency, especially, based on my experience, my background, you may have one organization saying this, then another one saying that. But what I focus on is really helping you to get the clarity, position your company for those opportunities, but also the partnership and the outreach. And when it comes to the readiness aspect, like, you have to be ready. And I know you have all the pieces, but it is not structured how you need to structure to be federal ready. So if you, like we said, yes, stay ready to be ready. Fire. Exactly. Like, we have to be ready before this opportunity comes in through our front door. Before someone brings that opportunity, say, hey, Shevvy, here's what I'm thinking about. Here, Rochelle, here's what I'm thinking about. You have to be positioned and ready to say, yes, we are ready. We are good to go. And this is what I do, and what I and how I support clients like you. So if you're like, hey, Shevvy, I'm serving clients in the commercial space, I have a capability statement, but it's not just showing up with a capability statement, honestly. Like, it's about compliance. It's about clear positioning. It's about you knowing, hey, I want to work with this specific agency to get, provide my solution, to provide my product or my services. And I'll share a quick story. So I'm all about not just, money is at the core of all businesses, because you need it to survive. You need it to invest. You need it to continue to pay your employees, your team members, all of it. It is needed. It is needed. But one thing that I also thrive on is making sure that my clients are ready. Like the military, we have to be mission ready, no matter what's going on in life, no matter what's going on in the world. We had to be positioned to be ready. That meant when it comes to deployment, I needed to make sure that I had my affairs in order. I needed to make sure everyone in the unit that was deployable had their affairs in order. Because again, whether that's training, whether that's making sure that you have your will, your power of attorney, childcare if you were a single parent, I went through divorce, so definitely making sure that I had a power of attorney in case when I had to deploy. On paper, my leadership knew, hey, Sergeant Maxwell, her kids are taken care of. They were going to be positioned with, my sister or someone else. Again, being ready. And so this current client that I'm, working with, we're going to be working together at the end of this month to really make sure that their company is positioned and is ready to tap into this potential partnership, which is high potential partnership that can lead to multiple $1 million opportunity. And when I say I'm going to be helping this client to be federal ready, that means is we're going to make sure that their positioning, their compliance, because yes, you may be ready to go in the civilian market, which is great, but that does not transfer into the federal market. Because there's certain things that when it comes to the federal market, you still have to make sure you are in compliance, because again, it's at a higher level, especially if you are supporting the Department of Defense, the military mission. So you have to make sure that you are federal ready, because if this potential person that I'm going to be working with is not in compliance, guess what happens? That opportunity, that work that we already have done, the time that we have invested, that goes to waste. Because now if you're not ready, compliant ready, that means that you and this potential partnership cannot happen, because it is a requirement. And if you are a tech founder and you are tapping into the federal market and you are looking to break into that market, you have to be federal ready. It's not just going by the seat of your pants and you're just like, oh, we'll get there. No, whether you are a woman in tech, minority in tech, anyone in tech, and you're like, hey, I have an amazing solution. Because again, our goal is like, you build a solution, we're going to position your company, to get seen and get it funded. That is our goal. Okay. So again, you have to be federal ready. And that's what I focus on. part of what I focus on is getting you federal ready. Okay. Because what may be happening right now for you, and if you're like, this is resonating with you, drop a 3 in the chat to let me know, like, hey, I hear you, Shevvy. This is what I'm dealing with. Like, or just like, hey, I can relate, I understand, and I may need some support. So drop a 3 in the chat, because you might be dealing with, no capability statement. You're like, hey, Shevvy, what is a capability statement? Honestly, before I came into the space, I'm like, what is a capability statement? But after I've, done my research, built connection, invested in my business financially with time, resources, all the things, it's your business resume, and depending on what you're doing. And I've seen other businesses that I've served their capability statement. And what I like to do is look at whether you have it or maybe you have one. But the thing that I'm seeing is, like, you have one, well, not you, but other businesses may have a capability statement, but it's outdated. It is outdated. And when I say outdated, that means they have not updated their capability statement with maybe the last 6 months. There's probably information that was from last year. I look at my capability statement, and anything that I do new, guess what? I added on there along with the results, the impact. Again, going back to my military days, because when you're working with the federal government, they want to look at, okay, what is the impact? What is the solution? How can you reduce costs, risk, all the things? So yes, you have no capability statement, or maybe you have one, but it's not up to date. We help you to make sure that it's updated. It is alignment with the agency that you are looking to support. Okay. You also don't have no federal visibility, my friend. And it is time for you to position your company for federal opportunities, especially as a small business. The federal organization as a whole wants to do more work with small businesses like yours. Okay. So no more hiding, no more saying, hey, this is what I want to do. We are action focused over here. We all about streamlining, executing, and getting things moving, because we're not wasting time. We're not wasting money or resources. Okay. It's like the government. They don't want you to waste their time, money, or resources. Same over here. Welcome, Samantha from Jersey. Thank you for joining in. And please drop in the comments what you do and who you serve, my friend. All right. So as a, and I'm, let me know if you're feeling what I'm sharing, because I want to make sure that you are tracking what I'm putting down. So as a tech founder, things is like not happening when it comes to the federal market. So you are looking for, your company to be known in that space. And I know there's a lot of movement on social, and you're like, okay, how do I even get visibility? How do I position myself? That is what my company helps you with. I had a sales call this morning as well too, and it's about not just grant support, it's also about business development aspect as well, so that you can position your company for visibility. You want to be able to match with the right agencies as well too, because we don't want to go all over the place looking for all these different opportunities, my friend. We want to make sure that we are aligned with the right agency that you can be aligned with, but also you like, yes, I want to serve this community of organization or people, because you are focused on the impact and the solution that you have for this specific organization. And one thing that you want more of you would appreciate is a strategic partnership, that someone that you can trust, someone that is going to bring you that momentum that you need to start moving forward. Oh, give me 1 second. I don't know why when I get on here, it's like my nose is like, whew. Yeah. So definitely you're looking for a strategic partner to help you position your business for federal opportunities. Okay. And as I mentioned, when it comes to federal readiness, it is a must. It's not something that you just opt into. It's like you want to be ready before the opportunities. You want to have those conversations with program managers before those RFP comes into to the forefront. You want to have conversations with potential partnerships beforehand, so you can share what is it that your solution does for this specific agency. Okay. And that is why I created my federal readiness position incubator. And this is really for the tech founder who is like, I have no clue where to start. Okay. And I am looking for someone to guide me that's going to help me to go from A to Z. Okay. I mean, we're not doing the whole A to Z, but you know what I'm saying? Like from A to B to C, so that you are positioning, you are being federal ready for opportunities before they arrive. All right. Rochelle said, she said, I'm a personal brand strategist advising women professionals, especially women veterans, to elevate their image for profitable opportunities. Exactly. So thank you for sharing that, Rochelle. And what that indicates, like, she is the brand person that's going to get them prepared before this opportunity comes. Same thing I do in my business. So thank you for sharing that. Appreciate it. So when it comes to the Federal Readiness Positioning Incubator, this is truly for the tech founder and non-tech founder who is like, hey, I need to build out my federal foundation because, excuse me, I don't know where to start or what to do. Okay. And I'm going to read off what this entails, what the experience is. Going to be a very intimate experience because you're getting hands-on approach for 6 weeks where we are going to meet weekly, but we are going to identify and get clear on exactly what your business offer. Okay. Because it's really helping you to get the clarity, the position, and momentum moving. Because too often as founders, we are building in the lab, but I need you to start creating momentum and work with me. When you decide to, we create momentum. We create results because we're not going to be just in a silo talking and planning. We are creating traction. Okay. So this is all about building your federal readiness when it comes to this incubator. Also about gaining visibility and positioning. Again, too often people are afraid to go live. Too often people are afraid to create a news article and share their thoughts and share their solutions. Well, guess what? In this incubator, it's really focused on helping you to, again, build that readiness, but also create that visibility, that positioning, and also accountability, because I do understand, like, sometimes you can create that momentum, but then you get like, man, I'm not motivated. But guess what? We will be moving along. Okay. My kids be like, mommy. Yes, exactly. Love that. Action, action, action. Like, we're not playing. Okay. And I'm not going to be like military all over you like that, because that is not me. I don't care to micromanage. I'm looking for people who are ready to do the work. Okay. Because I have the guide. I will be making sure that these things, they get executed and we get it done. So within 6 weeks, you're going to be leaving like, man, this was just a thought. Now we're actually in action. We're actually, I'm actually on, LinkedIn. I'm actually visible. I'm actually communicating with people. I know how to do outreach that is going to lead to conversations. Okay. Also, maybe I didn't have a capability statement. Now, by the time you leave, you know how to build out a capability statement that highlights how your business is different from every other businesses. When I send my capability statement out, and honestly, I get feedback. Wow. Impressive capability statement. Impressive. And it's not to brag. It's just, again, to showcase my capability, my readiness for partnerships, to be a subcontractor, to submit a proposal for my business. So again, it's really helping you to position your business for federal opportunities. And that is what we do in the Federal Readiness Position Incubator. So what else? Let me make sure. And this, even though we will have the weekly coaching call, not even coaching call, this is more consulting advisory, honestly, because we are doing the work. Okay. But outside of us not being on the Zoom call, you will get to talk to me and send me questions, feedback. Like, you are getting like live feedback and actionable steps to take through Slack. So Monday through Friday, you can still communicate with me during business hours, of course, because again, I am a mom. I have kids. They're back in school. So we're not going to be on the, sending messages, 9 o'clock at night. You can, but I will respond the next day, okay? Because we have to make sure that we are setting structure, boundaries, and expectations as well too. But this is truly for the tech or non-tech founder who is ready to create momentum. Like you are tired of planning and you're like, you know what? I have an amazing idea. I'm a creative, and I just need the structure and the guidance to say, here's my solution. Okay. Because this is really about the federal readiness, as I stated. And you are no longer want to wait another 3 to 6 months because fiscal year is ending for 25, September 30th. October 1st is the new fiscal year for the federal market. And I want you to be positioned for those opportunities because guess what? The first quarter, money is going to be spent. I know from experience, okay? I was in the military for 22 plus years. I know from experience, guess what? Sergeant McFarland, well, I was McFarland at the time. We got to spend and we spend, okay? So if you're like, Shevvy, this is what I need, okay? Then I want you to click the link. Hopefully I can, let me get this link so you can book a call. And this call is just honestly a 15-minute call to answer any questions that you have of me and for you to be like, decide, okay, yes, this is for me, or no, this is not for me. Or maybe there's something else that will serve you better working with me one-on-one. But like I said, this is a small incubator, 6 people I'm looking to support so that you can be federal ready. That is what this program is about. Okay. So at the end of the program, let me just recap. Clarity in your path forward when it comes to federal readiness. Strong federal positioning, because again, we don't want you out here just flowing. Okay. We want you to be streamlined and positioned the right way. Because trust me, I've been there. If you've been following me for a while, I started here, there, and then I'm here. Okay. Yes. And also a concrete plan to compete for federal contracts. And again, this is 6 weeks of intimate support, 6 other founders like yourself, including yourself. And honestly, the goal is to have you federal ready before you leave the 6 weeks. And you will. Working with me, you will. Because again, we have to position you for those right opportunities. But any questions, you can drop it in the chat. You can send me a DM if you want to just send me a quick question. But if you're like, hey, I need to talk to you, click the link and book a call. And I'll go back and make sure that the link is there as well too. I believe it is already, but I want to make sure. So that is the link. I need to fix that link. That's a long link. But yes, again, friend, federal readiness is a must. It is not something that's optional. If you want to build a sustainable business in the federal space, you have to be federal ready before those opportunities starts to come into your view. Just like the big company, they stay ready, and I want to make sure that you stay ready as well too. So reach out to me if you would love to learn more about the Federal Readiness Position Incubator. And I want to thank you, Rochelle, for joining, along with Samantha. And I did see someone on Facebook. I'm not sure who you were. And I think someone was on YouTube, but let me know. Say hello, as always. But I want to say thank you all so much for joining. I'm Shevvy, your host, your excuse me, your consultant, your trainer and speaker. And, as always, supporting tech founders who don't have the time, the team, and the tolerance to break into the federal market. And my company does that through strategic partnership, intentional outreach, and also ready partnership. Okay, we're not wasting time so that you can build a sustainable business. That is the goal. So as always, you build the solution and we position it to be, we help you create the pathway to position it to get a position, seen, and funded. Okay. All right, y'all. Well, have an amazing Wednesday as always. Oh, next week I will be having a guest, Jenny Clark, and she'll be sharing because she's the Oprah of finance, and she will be on sharing when it comes to your budget, if you're applying for innovation grants, and what you need to make sure that you have in place. So stay tuned. And we're gonna meet on Tuesday instead of Wednesday because my daughter's birthday, the oldest, is next Wednesday, and we're gonna have a mom and daughter day. So family first for me. But we will still make sure that the live still goes on the day prior at 1 o'clock Central Time. So thank you for joining me. Drop any questions that you may have. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the link to book a call to learn more about the 6-week incubator to position you for federal opportunities so that you can be federal ready. All right, y'all, have an amazing day. Why my neck was like up like that. But thank you all so much for joining, and have an amazing Wednesday, and see you all next week.